Welcome to the Leetist podcast, a show where we play games about games, video games, games of the video sort. I am Kenny, joined today by the ad rocket MCA to my Mike D, a.k.a. Sam.
Hello.
And Dwayne.
Yay, resident old guy Dwayne here.
Yeah, there you go. You guys are here to filling in for Tim and Ryan, who are both out today. First
resident old guy, resident young guy.
Yeah.
Resident guy.
Resident guy.
Well, how old, am I old? Am I young? I don't know. Who knows? I'm somewhere in the middle.
I think in the podcast, you're middle.
Okay, there you go. Do you guys know my reference? What those three names were?
No.
Mike D. You don't know?
Oh, yeah. Beastie Boys.
Yeah, Beastie Boys.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I knew a music question. Points.
Celebration. Tim and Ryan are out today. Sam, old reliable Sam, always here to fill in. And Dwayne.
Always happy.
On the show today, as a guest, we have Love Retro BTW Andy coming on to play some games with us. A friend of ours from the Twitterverse and the Retroverse over there that we've been talking to for a long time, interacting with on Twitter. We're trying to get him on the show. He's finally coming on to play some games with us. And, of course, when we have a retro show, we need to get our resident retro man, Dwayne.
Hello.
How you doing, Dwayne?
I just love retro games so much.
And you have brought a game today.
I have.
As we pretend that we haven't done it yet.
Yes.
Even though we're recording out of order.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do that.
The magic of editing, everybody.
Thank you guys so much for being here when my fabulous co-host can't make it. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Always happy to be here. It's always a fun time.
I fill in real well.
We're all filling in these seats very well. Why didn't I drag Tim's seat over to my space? I was in a rush trying to get here. I remember when Tim's not here, I can use that comfy chair.
It is the nice chair.
It's so comfy. I'm so much comfier than this thing. Anyway, if you like the show, do us a solid and tell every single person you meet that this is the greatest podcast you've ever heard. In fact, you can pause the show right meow and go to the review section of whatever platform you're listening to and drop us a quick rating and review. That can really help us get seen by more folks. Also, tell your friends and followers. They can go to theleetist.com/new-listeners, where they'll find some fun clips from the show, give them a taste of what we do here. Plus, it includes a recommended jumping off point for folks to start their Leetist journey, jumping off episode. I kind of got through that okay.
Yeah,
Tim usually does that. So
I hear that if you do all of that, you become more attractive.
I have heard that as well. Well, I've also mentioned that timestamps are below the show. If you want to jump right to a game, we play games here. We have a news game. We have some games with Andy Love Retro that we're going to be playing. We have Flavor of the Week that we do every week. You can jump to a timestamp, go to whatever spot you want to. But the first thing we're going to do, I don't know if you guys are keeping up on the news. I had to last night to prepare for this game a little bit. We'll see how it goes in the news game.
The news game.
Every episode, we like to take a brief look back at the gaming news of the week and give our 2 cents. But, of course, on this show, simply reading the headlines ain't leet enough. We got to make a game out of it. I'm going to read off some quick-fire fill-in-the-blank gaming news questions for my lucky contestants, and they'll have 30 seconds to answer them. I don't know if you guys even kind of keep up with news. I know we do on the show sometimes, so you might get some lucky guesses. Who knows? To a point,
most of my friends are gamers, so you get like gaming news through osmosis from them.
There you go. There was some big stuff that happened this week. A Nintendo Direct, a PlayStation thing as well, events, new games, all this stuff. Sam, I'm going to have you call to the Attitude Goes Fast. Here we go. Ooh.
Heads.
It is a tail.
Oh, my God. I've already won because the coin was tails. That never happens.
All right, Dwayne,
it's always
ready?
heads.
I know.
Why is it tails?
Are you confident?
Nope.
Okay, here we go. A shadowy photo of actress Elle Fanning is making the rounds on Twitter with the caption, "Who am I?" leading fans to start putting clues together as they believe it may be a tease for the next game from blank.
Nope.
Kojima. After a year of exclusivity on the PS5, the critically acclaimed roguelite FPS blank is finally coming to Game Pass.
Pass.
Deathloop. Yakuza is undergoing a name change after the latest release of Yakuza Like a Dragon. It has been announced the series from now on will be called blank.
Like a dragon.
Yeah! I'll just read the last one here. Well, Animal Crossing did so well, it makes sense that Nintendo showed off at their Direct 5 games from the blank genre.
Oh, I don't know. What genre is that? Farming?
Farming sim.
Farming? Okay.
They had a director that, I don't know, it was probably 25% of the whole thing was farming sim.
Yeah, it was
games.
like game after game. It was just like, this is a farming sim. This is a farming sim with magic. Here's a farming sim. It's like, there's too many. No,
That's what I was thinking when I saw it. I was like, man, they must have saw how well Animal Crossing did. They're like, man, that's our hugest game ever. That COVID game that everyone plays.
Yep.
Like everyone likes farming sims. Let's do
So
All of them.
You said farming sim with magic. So are we getting a new Rune Factory, or is this?
Yeah, one of them was Rune Factory.
Yeah.
or something.
So
That
I don't know if it was a
checks
new
out.
one. It might have been an HD remaster. Those are
Yeah.
all over the place. You
Yeah,
know how
there's
that
like
goes.
5 games in that series to choose from. So yeah, cool.
So there's like a picture on Twitter, going around Twitter, of like a shadowy face, and it just says, "Who am I?" And I think Kojima is tweeting it around, and people figured out through Photoshoppy stuff that it's Elle Fanning, which is I think Dakota Fanning's sister.
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So they think that she has something to do with Kojima's next game, and it's funny because she that movie I Am Sam.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she was in it, although she didn't play Sam. I think she had like another minor role. But then the guy in Kojima's last game was named Sam, and people always try to connect crazy shit together with Kojima.
Well, yeah, because
stuff.
Kojima does wild shit.
Yeah, he does.
And so it's like, all right, there's a name of this. There's this. How does it connect? We have to find out how.
It's so crazy that Abandoned Game still has not come out anything that has anything to do with Kojima, because there were so many weird ass coincidences that really I think just were coincidences. But when the internet gets together and tries to find these things and put them together, they things
fan
happen.
the flames.
Yeah.
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 The
And
flame gets so big, and I was convinced. I think Tim is still convinced that it has something to do with Kojima.
And with Kojima, coincidences might not be coincidences.
Yeah, there you go. He also is on record as saying his next game is going to be as intense as 9/11. So look out for that.
Whoa.
He
Okay.
literally said that.
All right.
Have you guys, about Deathloop? Have you
Yep,
played it?
I'm familiar.
Did you play it, Sam?
Yeah, I did not finish it, but I played it.
Oh, I finished it. I loved it. Great game. Arcane. Prey, most underrated game.
Prey was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, loved it.
I was just thinking the other day about how awesome that would be in VR. Prey game. Yeah. Anyway, Deathloop was a PS5 exclusive for a long time, about a year. Now it's finally coming to Game Pass. I think everyone's going to be able to play it in the next couple of days.
It's been on Steam for a while.
Yeah, that is true. They call it a PS5 exclusive even when it is on PC for some reason. I think in the console verse, so many people are the biggest percentages on console. So when they say exclusive, they mean you can't play it on Xbox, but you can on PlayStation. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
That Yakuza thing we talked about. The game has been called Yakuza until now. Like a Dragon was the last game. But apparently the translation has always been Like a Dragon overseas. So now they're switching it from, it's almost like if they went from Resident Evil, the name over there is called Biohazard.
Yep.
So it's almost like if after Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, they just changed the name of the game to Biohazard 8 was the next, you know what I mean? It's like
That makes a lot more sense for that. I mean, Resident Evil for the first one, sure. Yeah, you have a house that centers Resident. Yes. After that, things get a little weird with the name Resident
it's
Evil.
very much a biohazard.
Yeah.
The entire world becomes a biohazard.
Yep.
Did you watch the new Resident Evil show on Netflix that just got canceled?
I
guess?
did not watch it. I did not hear great things about it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I wish they'd just redo the first game's story and just get good actors to just do that story.
That would be kind of neat. Yep.
The mansion, great setting. Animal Crossing, yeah. Oh, I did the farming sim thing already. We start with that, so that's it. You get 1 point.
Yay, I'll take it.
Good for you, like a
All
dragon.
right.
Remembering that. Sam, are you ready?
Ready as ever.
Here we go. Bam. Oh my God! Breath of the Wild 2 is officially called Legend of Zelda blank.
Oh, God. I don't remember the name. I was just excited it was 2.
Tears of the Kingdom. Less than a year after returning, video game network blank has been hit with some major layoffs.
G4 TV?
Yeah.
Hey.
Sony let the bad news slip that games on the new blank will not be backwards compatible with version 1 of the device.
PSVR?
Yeah. Company blank is reportedly so sick of working with NVIDIA that they are going to stop making graphics cards altogether, which
That's
is 80%.
EVGA.
Yeah, there you go. Sam.
Very sad.
Well done, Sam.
Crushing the news game with 3 points. Apparently, EVGA has cited lack of respect or something from NVIDIA about we're just not going to make the graphics cards anymore, which is 80% of their current business. So,
Which is really sad because, I've always heard that EVGA has, the best customer support. They've got the longest warranty. I remember hearing stories of people being like, yeah, I had, my 1070 go out, and then they replaced it with a 2070. And it's just, it's sad.
yeah, that's a weird one.
I wish they would be able to, that there wasn't all this, bad blood, that whatever NVIDIA had done, they hadn't have done, because EVGA, I've never heard anything bad about them.
Yeah,
Never.
in the article, I didn't dig too deep. They didn't get too deep into past. They felt disrespected somehow. I don't know what that's all about. But every time I was trying to get those graphics cards when they come out, everyone's like, yeah, you want an EVGA one probably because they're the best. So PSVR 2, people are pretty mad.
Yeah, because I was holding into a PSVR game for that very reason, because all along they had said, it's backwards compatible. Sure.
It's weird that they wouldn't have it backwards compatible, you know?
Yeah, I don't...
Like, it doesn't seem like it'd be that difficult. Like, if you can make, like, PS4 games backwards compatible, you know, why not have PSVR?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a tech thing or if it's a money thing or who knows, but I saw some early reviews about the PSVR 2 and people saying that they played that Horizon game and it was incredible. So I can't say I'm going to buy one, though, already having a Quest. And I'm sure the Quest 2, or I have a Quest 2, the 3, whatever it is.
The
Pro coming out soon. They're going to have the eye tracking and all that stuff. So
yeah, I bought Space Channel 5 VR for the very reason. Like, I thought, I'll get a new, the new, or the VR 2, is that what they're calling it? PSVR 2?
PSVR 2.
Oh, what a horrible name. But anyway, so now I have to go out and buy a PlayStation VR, I guess. Hopefully maybe they'll come down in price with the new model coming out.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 still not available on PC or Quest, just on PlayStation. It's the only reason I'd want one.
Yeah.
And for the new Horizon game.
That game is terrifying not in VR. I can't even imagine.
VR was on PC.
Resident Evil 4, the Resident Evil 4 is on Quest. 7 was exclusive to PlayStation and VR, and it still is years and years later, so strange. G4 laid off a bunch of people. It's not going well.
Haven't paid attention to them since like I lost cable.
Yeah.
I still wonder what happened to his Tech TV, so I'm a little behind at the times with G4.
G4 comes up a lot here because you're talking about how, you know, we do a show here where we play games about games, and that's a place where it would be perfect for more game shows about games, you know what I mean? Trivia stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's not going so well. They need more of those.
Also, it's easier to get like gaming information.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, with all the directs, you can just watch it on your phone or computer. You don't really need to have a channel dedicated to it.
Yeah. What was the nightly show that Martin Sargent did back in the day? Undaunted or something like that. But what I loved about it, this was probably 2002, 2003. But as the show was showing live, you could get online and answer questions, and then they'd have a leaderboard in real time with the show. And so they'd like show the leaderboard on the show. It was really neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, we have a leaderboard.
Leeters.
Breath of the Wild 2, the biggest news for me.
I'm very excited.
Tears of the Kingdom. You know, they said the whole time that, like, we're not revealing the title yet because it gives away too much. And now it turns out it's Tears of the Kingdom. So,
which I've heard, like,
what has that given away?
Some people were like, oh, that gives away so much. And it's like, how?
That's what I'm wondering.
What does it give away?
I heard some people saying, like, that means Zelda's going to die. I was like, is that what you get from that somehow? I don't know. Because
you can cry over, like, maybe she's just chopping up onions, you know? Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, I gotta make this stew.
Maybe Link spills some milk.
Yeah.
It looks awesome, though. I mean,
it does. You know, there's a lot of verticality in it.
I thought I knew this at one point, and then I forgot it, and then I remembered it again. Is that they're taking the map from Breath of the Wild and building stuff above it and below it, but still keeping the same terrain. I don't know, maybe changing where forests are and things like that. So I wonder if like it's been when this releases, it'll be 6 years.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like they started this off as like this is going to be like an offshoot game, like a Majora's Mask, where we use the same engine and the same thing, and then they started building it, and we're just like, this is way too big. We're going to make it and spend 6 years on it, make a gigantic thing. So I'm expecting it to be pretty meaty and a lot going on in that game.
Oh yeah, I mean if they're adding in a bunch of like air stuff and below the ground stuff, it's going to be a lot meatier. And I have to imagine that they're like, from the way like the trailer was, it looked like the ground did have different like structures and whatnot on it. So like it might be the same map, but it's probably going to look very different.
They have big shoes to fill.
Yeah, it's a great game. I didn't include anything about the new God of War trailer, but God, that looks so good. Did you watch it?
I did not watch it.
Oh my God. I didn't think it could get that much. I wasn't too excited about seeing more because I just wanted to play it. And I didn't think I could get that much more hyped, but man, this new trailer, it shows so many new environments and enemy variety. Like they said, they wanted to focus on enemy variety, and there's so much cool looking shit in there. Oh my God. I can't wait. And apparently this is the end of the story of this part of the story, this mythology. So,
all right.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see what mythology they go to next.
Yeah, or if they're going to kill Kratos, which Ryan thinks might happen, so I don't know.
Maybe, maybe not.
Ryan always thinks just kill off the main character. They're going to do that all the time. So, all right, guys. Sam is the winner of the news game.
Yay!
Momentarily, we will get Andy Love Retro BTW in here. Let's pull him out in. Joining us now, Love Retro BTW, Andy. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's going on? I'm doing good.
I'm so glad to finally have you on the show. You've been kind of a staple of our Twitter for a long time with us and Gamers Week and everything, and you're just all over the place like all the time. So
yeah, thanks. I actually started doing my retro content creation on Twitter, so that's like kind of like my my love and my joy, and as you know, have a lot of good connections with people like you and the retro community there. So
for sure,
yeah, I appreciate that.
I was just watching like a conversation with you and RGB recently, and I think it was on your podcast about how you guys had a conversation about how like Twitter like has a lot of toxicity on it, but for some reason the retro community in particular for retro games is like super nice to each other just all the time.
Good.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah, we actually did talk about that on my podcast. It's very true. Like, Twitter could be a cesspool, but the retro community, for the most part, even when people disagree on like liking a game, it's not like they're being angry and mean to each other. It's, they're conversations. And I feel like I can't even like tell you a moment I've had that's been a really negative experience on Twitter. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, right?
It is. I think I see a lot of negative moments with modern gamers, but not retro ones very much. Yeah.
I mean, streaming Twitter is very toxic when you're dealing with like all the like streamer like drama.
For sure.
Modern gaming, absolutely. But retro gaming and nostalgia, it just brings back memories. So it's hard to like argue around that stuff.
Andy, give me a little benchmark on your gaming history. What was the first home console you owned?
So the first console I played was a ColecoVision, and the first game I actually remember playing was Zaxxon. Okay. And my cousin had that in his house, and I remember that was kind of like the first time I played an at-home console, but the 2600, the Atari 2600 was the first real console we had in my home. Okay. As a kid. And I remember, just playing all the greats, Pitfall being one of my favorites. And what's really cool about Pitfall is if you look at the other Atari games on the 2600, they really pulled out as much as they could to make that game a platformer. And they really did.
Yeah, Activision was doing amazing things on that console. Like, if you look at those Activision games from that era, they're just so far ahead of what the first-party Atari stuff was, and a lot of the third-party crap that was being shoveled onto the system as well.
Yeah, but it was Atari, and also want to give a shout out to like the early arcades because, I was a kid, in the 80s, and my parents took me to arcades too. So, maybe they weren't at home consoles, but the arcade had a lot to do with my love of video games too when I was a kid as well.
Nice. Right on, man. We're going to talk a little bit more about Cafe BTW and everything you got going on if you got anything else going on. But before we do that, I have a game for us to play.
A game?
Because that's what we do here on the Leetist. We play games about games. This one is a staple game of our show called Are You Smarter Than a Leet Gamer? On a weekly basis, we strive to prove our superior gaming intellect. One of us will try to outsmart the rest with our own unique brand of gaming trivia. This week, it's me, Kenny, who shall present the categories and questions, and my co-host and our guest here will bravely attempt to match wits. Here are the categories today. Gentlemen, first category up, one returning one, a fun one, YouTube covers. I have some YouTube cover snippet versions of music, video game songs. I'm going to play the song. You're going to tell me the video game. Second category, Sam at the table here, our official sit-in co-host. I'm just going to throw it out there right now that you were born because you gave me your birthday.
Yep.
September 13th, 1996.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes us all feel a little old here. But this category is called Was Sam Born? Which is a very easy yes or no category. Get a quick 50-50 chance of a yes, no. Get a point. Was
I
Sam
was
born
in
yet?
fact born, so I think I win.
There you go. I'm going to give you an event in video game history, and you're going to tell me whether Sam was born yet when this happened. And the final category, a returning favorite, Odd Man Out, where I list four things from a video game, like video game category, and you tell me which one does not fit. I'll let you know which one. So we're going to start off with, I'm just going to look at you, Sam, and say you're going first. YouTube covers, was Sam born yet, or Odd Man Out?
I mean, I'm great at music and listening, but also it's fitting to start with, was I born yet?
Okay, yeah, it is fitting. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Was Sam born when the Sega Saturn released in North America?
I was born.
No, you were not, my friend. That was May 11th, 1995.
Ooh.
I have to tell you.
Couldn't remember that because I wasn't born yet.
There you go. And I'm going to say that Andy over here is in this invisible chair next to Sam. So, Andy, YouTube covers, was Sam born, Odd Man Out?
Odd Man Out.
Odd Man Out. Okay. You might know this. I didn't know it because some of these, this is a little more of a retro question for me. So, Final Fantasy protagonists. I'm going to give you 4 names. You're going to tell me which one was not a Final Fantasy protagonist. Here we go.
Oh God, I suck at Final Fantasy. I don't even. It's one of the series that I've really never played much.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
I think you got a 1 in 4 chance. So.
Yeah, these are mostly from the older ones. So here we go. Cecil, Furion, Kuja, Bartz. 3 of those are protagonists, and 1 is not.
Say it again.
Cecil, Furion, Kuja, Bartz.
Considering I only played Final Fantasy 1 and 15, I'll go with the last one, Bartz.
Bartz is not correct. That was a protagonist in one of the earlier Final. I don't know which one I didn't write down, but Kuja is the correct answer, which was the antagonist of 9.
That was my first guess. I should have gone with that.
Instincts are always the way to go. All right, Dwayne.
I'll take Sam for the block.
Sam for the block. Here we go. Was Sam born when the PlayStation 1 released in North America? I'll give you everyone a reminder here. Sam was born on September 13th, 1996. Was the PS1 released yet in North America?
That's going to be real close. Let's see. I am going to say Sam was born when the PS.
No, he was not.
Oh my gosh.
The PlayStation 1 released in North America on September 9th, 1995.
Yeah.
A year before Sam was born.
I am a young baby.
We have no points on the board yet, guys. Sam.
Let's do a YouTube cover.
Finally, my favorite. Here we go. You're going to tell me what video game this song is from. What's going through your head?
I'm trying to turn it back into 16-bit, but it's so. I'm gonna say Jazzman 3000.
Jazzman 3000 is not correct. This is a stealable one though. So, Andy, do you have any clue what that's from?
I have no idea, but it sounds very soothing.
It is soothing. Dwayne?
Oh no.
Okay, that is the main title theme from Mega Man 3, which I always I have to squeeze that in all the time because Mega Man 3 is my favorite video, not even NES music, my favorite game music ever. So that one's for me.
All right, mental note for the future.
All right, Andy, YouTube covers, was Sam born or Odd Man Out?
Was Sam born, and remind me on the date again?
September 13th, 1996.
Okay.
Was the Nintendo 64 released in North America?
And his birthday was September, right? I want to say that it actually was released in September of 1996, or it was either the month after. But I'm going to say, oh man, that's tough. I think it's really close, actually. So I'm going to say no.
It was close, and you're wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh, damn it.
The Nintendo 64 was released September 29th, 1996.
Ooh.
Oh, you're evil.
What's funny about that is I posted a video on my TikTok of a news report in September, but it didn't give a date when they were previewing it. So that makes sense. So maybe the news report was a few weeks before.
Yeah, I'm a little stinker throwing that one in there, just weeks apart.
That's great. No, that's a good one.
All right, Dwayne.
I like this Sam category.
All right, you want to keep doing it? All right, you
I
got to
like
run
me
this one
too.
out. Only a couple more of them. Here we go. Was Sam born yet, when Final Fantasy VII was announced.
Oh God!
Announced.
Ooh.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a moment to think through this. I was definitely working at Media Play when it came out, and that was 96. I'm going to say he was not born when it was announced.
Finally, someone gets a point on the board. Final Fantasy VII was announced in February of 96. It came out September 7th, 97 in North America, at least. So there you go. A point for Dwayne.
I knew there was a lot of hype and lead into that game being released. So I figured.
Yes. Oh, yes. Sam, my friend.
Let's go with Odd Man Out. I at least have a 1 in 4 chance of getting this right.
Okay.
Hold on. Just so you know odds, just to make sure. You have a 50-50 chance. Are you born? Were you born?
Was Sam born? Here we go.
Fair enough.
This one is a little bit more modern. Witcher 3, Bestiary. I'm gonna give you 4 monsters from Witcher 3. And tell me which one is not real. Here we go. Morntart, Rot Fiend, Dorflit, Whamawam.
I'm going to say the first one.
Morntart?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Morntart is real.
Morntart are those things we serve at funerals. You know, the little you have the Morntart.
A morning Pop-Tart?
Yeah.
Dorflit was the fake one.
Dorflit.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Andy, Odd Man Out, Was Sam Born, or YouTube covers?
I want to do Was Sam Born again.
Okay. This is the last one in that category. So you guys like that one too much. Here we go. Was Sam born yet when the first Quake game released on PC?
Oh, man. Was Sam born yet? I'm going to go no on this.
That's a point for you.
Hey.
Yes.
There you go.
Way to go, Andy.
Yeah.
And I was horrible at Quake, but I did play it.
Way to go, Donnie. All right. Yeah, it was June 22nd, 1996. There you go.
Hey, I'm gonna give you props for your John Goodman impression there. That was pretty. As somebody who's seen that movie a lot, that was pretty. It was pretty spot on.
I just was doing the quote. Okay, Dwayne.
Music is not my thing. So let's go music.
Okay, it's so fun. It's so fun. Okay, here we go. Tell me what video game this is from, my friend.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm giving you. What you got?
It's a Zelda game. I'm going to say the original Legend of Zelda.
I'm sorry.
Is it Ocarina?
I'm gonna need a specific one, but you guys can steal it. So Sam, got a guess?
I'm going to say Ocarina.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Oh man.
Andy, got a guess?
Link Between Worlds.
This is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Oh boy, Sam.
Let's do an Odd Man Out.
Odd Man Out. All right. This one's another one kind of for me because this game holds a special place in my heart. These are names of enemies because they have their own names in Final Fight for Super Nintendo.
Ooh.
So here's 4 names. Like their health bar comes over the top and you see their names. So Hollywood, Bread, Plank, Wong Hu.
I'm going to say Plank.
Yeah, that's correct. Woo! Oh my God. Good for you.
Wow,
Good for
nice.
you. All right.
Congrats.
Everyone's tied right
We're
now.
all
1
tied
point
up.
each. How about
Totally
that?
did not guess on that.
I always like bread, so that was my. Oh, by the way, my favorite sound clip from Final Fight right here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, Andy.
It still does not sound like car. It does not.
Yeah, it is. Odd Man Out or YouTube covers?
We'll try an Odd Man Out. I suck at music.
Okay. This is another fun one. Here we go.
Okay.
Fighters in Pro Wrestling on NES. If you remember this game, here we go. Blitz, the Amazon, Kincorn Karn, or Giant Panther.
Wow, I remember this game. And they were generic names. They weren't like licensed names. Can you say them again?
Blitz, the Amazon, Kincorn Karn, or Giant Panther.
I want to say, I'm just going to go with Giant Panther for some reason.
I'm sorry, it is not Giant Panther. It's
Was
Blitz.
it the King?
It's
Blitz.
Blitz.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I thought Blitz. You know, my tutor from my SATs told me always go with your first guess. And
the Amazon, King, Corn, Giant Panther. I wrote down the rest just because they're fun. Fighter Hayabusa, King Slender,
Starman.
and of course Starman. Yes, there you go. All right, Dwayne.
Man, I haven't played that.
Let's go, since music treated me so poorly last time, let's go Odd Man Out.
Resident Evil franchise characters.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. Here we go. These are names of just characters that appear in the whole franchise. One of them is a fake name. Here you go. Martin Sandwich, Carl Spud, Hilda Hidalgo, Piers Nivens.
Piers Nivens.
No, I'm sorry. Piers Nivens is real. Carl Spud is fake. Martin Sandwich is real, believe it or not. That beloved character from Resident Evil. All right, Sam.
They turned Martin into a sandwich and not Jill.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jill sandwich.
What did you say? You become a
You
what
almost
sandwich?
became a Jill sandwich.
Became a Jill sandwich. I wonder if that was a callback. It was like a later game. They're like, hey, remember that line that everyone liked? Let's make a character named Martin Sandwich.
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's go with the YouTube covers.
Yeah, that's it. All right, here we go. See the wheels turning.
God, I don't know what game it is, but I've heard this song before.
Perhaps.
I heard it too, and I have no idea though.
You know, I'm going to say Final Fight.
It's not Final Fight. I'm sorry, Andy. You don't have a guess to just throw out, maybe?
I'll just throw out like Streets of Rage.
No? Dwayne?
Battletoads?
No, this was Batman on
wow.
NES. Tough one. One of my
I
favorites.
was way off.
Yeah. All right, Andy. One more
What
Odd
else
Man Out.
is left? Oh, let's do Odd Man Out.
Or you can do the YouTube covers, but I'll give you the Odd Man Out because this one.
Do you want me to do the YouTube cover? Sounds like
No, it's fine. We'll end with those. So here you go. New Vegas Companions. New Vegas Companions. Here we go.
Oh.
Yep. Boone, Fox, Lily, Raoul.
Oh my god. I just replayed New Vegas too. Do it one more time.
Boone, Fox, Lily, Raoul.
I want to say Fox.
You want to say the correct answer?
Yeah, Fox was what?
Fallout 3. Yeah, I'm another
Yes.
stinker there. There you go.
So I got it right.
Yes, you did.
Oh my god.
Fox is from Fallout 3. He's a super mutant, I believe.
Yeah.
I want to marry Piper, by the way, from Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah. Nick Valentine. Badass as well.
Everyone wants to romance Nick.
Yeah. Dwayne.
I guess it's music, right?
I guess it is. That's all that's
Let's
left.
do
Here
it.
you go.
Let's do some music.
Got a couple more of these left. Check this out, buddy.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm just going to say Street Fighter 2.
Nope, Sam.
Streets of Rage.
Nope. Andy.
I have no idea.
Earthbound.
Oh,
That is Earthbound.
All right. It's been a hot minute.
Earthbound.
I saw a reference to it somewhere on one of your pages or something, but
I might have. Well, obviously, it's an important part of video game history. But
absolutely, yeah. And Mother?
I just don't own the expensive cart.
Someone explained to me the Mother versus Earthbound thing. Are they the same game?
Yeah, I think
It
it's the
is.
same game. It's
Same game.
just version. Mother was Japanese and Earthbound was released in the U.S.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
Earthbound is Mother 2. We did not get the original Mother until years later when Nintendo decided to put it upon us on the Wii or the Wii U. The Wii U, yeah. But yeah,
interesting.
It's an interesting series, and hopefully one day we'll see Mother 3 over here. But it's unlikely.
The confusing naming of Japanese games and then being brought over to the U.S. and having a new name that's the same thing as the other one, but it's different.
I think we stopped that now. I think that's not.
Oh, yeah.
There might be a news headline that we have gone over about Yakuza that has something to do with that.
I think the Yakuza thing, Like a Dragon, is the Japanese name of it, and then Yakuza was used for the people like us in America. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, like it's been Yakuza the whole time, but they just changed it. So now, the last game was Yakuza Like a Dragon, but now the series is called Like a Dragon from now on. So it's very confusing. Yeah, they just announced.
But that's what I mean. I think in Japan, it's always been like.
It's always been Like a Dragon. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I mean. Or I could be wrong, but
I believe you are right. That's a point for you. No, just kidding. All right, Sam, here you go. All right.
That's beautiful, man.
It sounds like it's from like an RPG when you're like going through cutscenes, you know. Final Fantasy VI.
Andy, that ring any bells?
I'll say no. I don't know.
Dwayne.
Eternal Sonata.
No, this is Illusion of Gaia, which I think this is the one that I pulled from your Instagram, one of the recent covers or something. If I was mistaken. So, have you played?
I do have that game, but that's a very good game.
You played a lot.
I haven't played it recently, but I have it. I was playing it on my Super Boy recently. That's probably the photo you saw where I had it in the Super Boy.
There you go. Yeah, I think we just had that in our Discord trivia lately. A cover, like zoomed in cover of the Illusion of Gaia cover with just a tiny speck of something. One of our crazy Discord fans got it immediately, of course, because we can't stump them. Mm-hmm. All right.
I just think that it takes a certain ear to be good at guessing music. And
for sure.
Regardless, outside of video games, I'm terrible at it in general. Like
Sam is usually amazing at it, but he's a little stumped with the more retro things, I think.
Retro's not
I like to fool
my
ya.
forte,
like
but I'm trying to get better.
Whose turn is that? Andy's?
Yes.
All right. Last one of the game. Andy's in the lead. 2 points to Dwayne's 1.
I'm winning.
Yep. To Dwayne's 1 and Sam's 1.
Come on, guys.
Here's the last one, Andy. It's stealable, so if you don't get it, one of these guys might be able to tie you. Here you go.
Is it Daytona USA? Let's go or whatever.
There we go.
Damn it.
Change much. This is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's a harp. Any idea at all?
Maybe like a Final Fantasy VIII.
No, Dwayne.
Final Fantasy VI.
No, Sam.
Final Fantasy 3.
Oh, Sam. I thought you were going to tie up the game because I put that one in there for you. That was Hades.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
There you go. Of all this retro stuff, I was like, I'm going to put one in for Sam because he's a Hades super freak. But
that's a good game.
With
game.
2 points to the other fellas, 1 each. Andy La Retro BDW has won.
Well
are
done.
you smarter than a Leet Gamer? You
Congratulations.
are smarter than a Leet Gamer.
I guess I am.
I would have
Thanks,
not gotten.
guys. That was fun.
I think Batman and Mega Man 3 I would have gotten out of those, but the other ones, absolutely not. So there you go. Mm-hmm. You do say love retro BTW, right? Or you don't say by the way?
It's goes both ways. Some people do like BTW. Some people say by the way. So it's an acronym for by the way. So either one works.
Nice. You and RGB put together that Mario Kart tournament. Is that right?
Yes. So actually, that is our charity tournament, and that is our second time we've done it, and we're going to be doing it every year. Yeah. So we just finished that up in August, and we're going to be bringing it back next August as well.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah,
you guys were nice enough to let Tim, who's not here today, join that one. And he, goes off about how impressed he is about all the back end stuff going on there. It looks like it's nuts to put on and everything. It's quite an endeavor, and it's very impressive, and it was fun as hell. All those commercials in between and stuff, and raising all that money is awesome.
That's a big shout out to Ryan. Ryan does a lot of the tech stuff, but we love doing it, and it takes a lot out of us, every year, but it's worth it. And it really brings together the retro community. And this year was awesome. I mean, it was just really awesome. So.
Yeah, it was really fun. I saw most of it. I think I had a scheduled Destiny raid with my friends that night, a little like 3/4 of the way in, but I did get to catch most of it.
I love it.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Is most of the stuff you put on like Instagram and all the carts and everything yours? Are you like a collector and that's all your stuff?
Yeah, everything recently that you've seen definitely is mine. So I am a collector. I wouldn't say like I have like some insane collection, but I do have a lot of stuff. Mainly Sega Saturn is my jam, which you might be familiar with. A lot of people know me as the Saturn guy. I have over 140 American-run Sega Saturn games, and the American run was about 248, so I'm working my way there. But I also have a lot of NES. I have a good amount of Xbox games, actually. I started collecting original Xbox. I have some GameCube, but I would say NES and Saturn, I have a really good amount of those. So
what's your holy grail left on those two systems?
Saturn is really where I'm like, NES is kind of interesting. It's not like I like kill myself to find things, because NES, believe it or not, you could still get really good games for affordable prices. It's Saturn, on the other hand, where it's tough. So I would say one that I need back is obviously Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is the third in the Panzer Dragoon series. And then recently, just so you guys know, a holy grail I did get was Albert Odyssey, which was a huge win for me. A very amazingly put together RPG. It was a later release on the Saturn, but Saga is definitely one that I need. Dragon Force was a holy grail I was looking for, and I actually found that one recently. So there's still like a ton of Saturn games. Like there's weird ones like Winter Heat, which is the sequel to a game called Decathlete, which is like pretty much a track and field game on the Saturn, but I've been looking for that one. It's tough. There's so many that I need, but I would say Saga is one that is just like haunting me, and it's just getting more and more pricey.
Where's that fall these days? Has it broken 1,000?
Oh, it's way above 1,000 now. What you see is like sometimes you might get lucky on eBay and see an auction that sold about 900, but people are trying to sell that thing for about 1,400. So that's the range, 900 to 14. Yeah.
Oh.
And to keep in mind, it's got 4 discs. It's a pretty packed game with 4 discs as well, but absolutely a fantastic game as well.
There's some deep cuts. What is Dragon Force?
Dragon Force is also a kind of like strategy RPG, really good. Kind of like you kind of pull up a battlefield and there's 2 sides, and you kind of like turn. It's kind of JRPG meets like strategy RPG. It's really cool. Really well done as well. One that I've been wanting to, I just got it, so I have to replay it as well. Beautiful art too. I posted a photo on my Instagram of Dragon Force. The cover art is fantastic in that game too.
Does it tie into the Shining Force series at all?
That's a good question. I don't think so, because Shining Force 3 is on the Saturn.
Okay.
So I don't think Dragon Force is connected. I could be wrong though.
It just made my ears perk up, because we're always trying to come up with new games here, and it's like when I hear a name of a game that has the same name as like a metal band. Dragon Force, they do that song that is on Guitar Hero and all that. It's like we always have tricky stuff like that. Figure out, is it a band? Is it a game? Is it both? Who knows? Another part of that conversation I saw you having was the fact that you said you were surprised to see people hating on the N64 controller. It's funny because we just did a debate recently, worst controller debate, because we like when I started this show, one of my ideas for doing it, other than doing trivia games, was like movie fights is a big thing on YouTube, or was back in the day, and I want to do like game fights as well and do like debate battles. So we did a worst controller debate, but we picked like more known controllers, and not like, I'm sure there's way worse, obscure, older controllers.
The Intellivision is that, and it depends on what you mean by bad controller. Do you mean like it is difficult to control? That's the Intellivision. If you mean are they not? Do they not hold up to the test of time? That's the Atari 5200. So
I argued the N64 was the worst against Tim's Kinect. So,
the Kinect does have the issue of not doing what you need. Okay, I always made this comparison with the Kinect. Like, let's say that you're driving your car, and when you turn the steering wheel of your car, it only does that 90% of the time. You would not buy that car. Like, and the Kinect's percentages are a lot lower than that, voice control and movement control. So, I have some hatred for the Kinect.
When I think about playing games on the 64, though, just trying to move in 3D space, especially like GoldenEye with those C buttons, oh my God, I just hated it. And the 3 prongs, you don't know which one to hold on to.
It was a good first draft, because we didn't have a lot of
they were
3D
innovating,
controls.
they were trying.
Yep.
They were God bless them.
And then I think then Sony came along and was like, no, this is how you do 3D
this is
controls.
how we do it.
I actually have a knockoff N64 controller that is in the shape of like a normal controller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That
nice.
sounds. That
I
sounds
shared
like
a photo
something.
of it in the Discord a while back.
Yeah, we'll throw it up on our Instagram. I don't want to
Who
see
made that? Do you know who was it? Char or what was that company that made all the?
Was like Super 64 or something weird like that.
Nice.
It was a yellow logo.
Andy.
I mean, don't get me started, but I mean, I guess we are getting started. But
Yeah.
here's my problem with
Getting
this: is that
started.
it wasn't until recently, personally, that I've noticed people talking down on the N64 and saying, "Oh, the controller was horrible," and then even some people go as far as to say the N64 wasn't good. It had good, and I hate when someone says the N64 wasn't that great, but it had some great games. So I'm like, well, you're contradicting yourself because
what's your
I
qualifier?
don't like that, and it doesn't make sense. Here's my bar. My bar is that when I played the N64, it brought me joy. I never once as a kid, and I'm not talking about today. Everyone says it doesn't age well, but I'm looking back at when I was playing the N64. I never once looked down at the controller and said, "This sucks. I can't use this." But did I say it looked weird? Sure.
Yeah.
It looked like three legs. But never did I ever say when I was playing Bond, when I was playing Mario Kart, when I was playing Smash Brothers, did I ever say, man, this controller sucks? And then let's not even forget that I am a Wrestling No Mercy fan from the N64 games. That controller was built perfectly for all the move sets you could do in those particular games. And No Mercy is one of my favorite games of all time. And if it wasn't for the layout of the N64 controller, I wouldn't have had the experience I did with those wrestling games. So I'm not saying I totally respect people's opinion, but I look back, and if I went back in time and talked to Andy when I was playing the N64, he would have looked at me with three eyes like, what are you talking about? I love this thing.
Yeah.
So I get it that people are like kind of doing this thing like, oh, it aged and it doesn't hold up. But man, I'm still playing my N64 and I will defend it. I'm a N64 defender. Sure, is the controller like weird? It was still like everyone was playing the controller. It's not the Duke, the Duke was sort of unplayable for people,
Yeah, it was a mess.
It was a mess, but the N64 was still like, I'm just thinking about as a kid and I just didn't have a problem with it. So I'm just noticing more and more hate towards it. And I posted today on Twitter, what's your least favorite controller? And be honest, I see less. I was expecting tons of people to attack the N64 controller. Some did, but some didn't. And I don't know. I'm just like, and there's some other people on TikTok that like hate the N64. And I'm like, how could you like hate the system? Like Mario 64 is probably one of the greatest games ever made and revolutionized, the way we play video games for its day. So there's my argument. But again, I respect everyone's opinions. I'm just telling you from my experience, it was a joyous console and that's about it. And that's the bottom line because Andy said so.
Not only is it not the worst console ever, it's not even Nintendo's worst console. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, Tim won that debate against me, and you absolutely would have as well. So, Andy, do you want to shout out? We have a quick 10-minute game if you want to stick around for it. But shout out your stuff where people can find you, everything about Cafe BTW, and what else you got going on. Yeah,
I would, just check out my Twitter at LoveRetroBTW. There's a link tree right there. My podcast, Cafe BTW, a gaming morning podcast, is every Saturday morning on my Twitch channel. But we have a YouTube now, so you can catch all the VODs on my YouTube channel, which is also in the link tree. And I have a nice announcement of a new audio-only podcast because I'll tell you guys, I've been looking around. Are there any Sega Saturn-focused podcasts? And believe it or not, there really aren't. There's like one that I found. So I started, and I've been wanting to supplement my podcasting to do an audio podcast. And I'm doing what I have launched with the first episode. It's called the Saturn Force Podcast. And it's a retrospective look at the Saturn from my perspective as someone that had one in 1995 and was one of the kids that you would call, oh, he's a Saturn kid. Because back in the 90s, if you had a Saturn, you were extremely lucky and it was extremely rare. So I'm using this opportunity to create a podcast around just talking about the Saturn and my love and appreciation for it and some really cool, fun facts. The first episode is how I got my Saturn through my parents' divorce and how my parents' divorce literally got me the Sega Saturn. So if you want to check that out, it's in my link tree, and it's also on all audio podcasts. So you can find it on Spotify, all those things that do audio podcasting. But that's my newest announcement. But other than that, I just do a bunch of shit all over the internet. So you can find me everywhere.
Yeah, you are a relentless tweeter and Instagrammer, man. You post cool stuff like multiple times a day. Every day I see cool stuff from you happening all the time. Do you want to do 10 more minutes with Dwayne's game?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do it. Dwayne has brought a game. I don't know the name of it.
All right, everybody. We're calling this game Bearing the Lead.
Bearing the Lead.
So here's what I've done. I've gone and I have grabbed 7 facts about some arcade games from Wikipedia, but I've put them in the most generic, in order from the most generic to the most specific. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I will start reading off the facts. When you want to lock in your answer, go ahead and lock it in. The earlier you lock in your answer, it's going to be like golf scores. So the fewer points you get, but the better off you are. Okay. So Andy, you're going to be on the honor system. Kenny and Sam, if you will grab a pen, pencil, whatever you'd like, a little card. So let's go ahead and get this started. So bearing the lead. For your first game, my first clue is this was released in arcades in 1983. If anybody wants to take a shot, you can go ahead and lock that in.
So we can either write down now or wait for the next fact?
Or wait for the next fact. And these are all, I'll say these are all fairly popular titles, so I didn't go too obscure. All right, so no one's locking in at number 1. Number 2, developed by Marvin Glass and Associates.
Oh boy,
that sounds so familiar.
Okay, we'll go to number 3. Music in the game includes "Oh Susanna" and "Buffalo Gals." Buffalo Gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight?
I'm thinking like, like an 8-bitty sound.
I thought somebody might lock that one in. Let's go on to number 4.
Okay.
Number 4. This game has bonus levels at the end of each of its 4 levels.
Oh, man.
All right.
Oh, Susanna, I thought Oregon Trail.
Number 5. Remember, it has to be an arcade game.
Yeah, I know.
Number 5. Most home versions featured the Mountain Dew logo. No one jumping on at number 5? Let's do number 6.
What would Mountain Dew sponsor?
Arcade cabinets sported a brass rail footrest and drink holders.
Man.
Brass rail foot holder. Ooh, this is a hard one, man.
All right. And your last fact,
Yep.
number 7 for 7 points. Arcade cabinets famously came in 2 flavors, Budweiser and root beer.
I'll lock it in.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
All right.
Do I even know this?
Lock it in.
Sam is writing down an answer. Andy's got his answer.
Yeah, I got mine in.
Kenny's.
Arcade cabinets came in Budweiser and root beer?
Yep.
This is out of my wheelhouse.
I should have known this sooner.
Andy, what you got?
It's root beer tapper or tapper before they changed it away from alcohol.
Tapper qualifies.
Amazing.
And
I also wrote Tapper.
Sam also wrote down Tapper.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right.
I've heard that name. I had no idea it was had to do with drinks.
Game.
Yeah,
it's yes.
I
it
didn't
is a
know
solid
anything up until the root beer and Budweiser, because I remember hearing about that. In certain cabinets it was Budweiser, but for like the kids they changed it to root beer.
All right.
They changed the root beer tapper. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So here is your second game. This game was developed by General Computer Corporation.
Great name.
Mm-hmm.
No one's locking in.
No.
Let's
What kind
go.
of computer corporation are you? Well, we're pretty general.
Pretty general. Let's go to number 2. This game was released in 1982.
I was not born yet.
Not born yet. Sam was not born. Points for Sam. All right. Clue 3. This game was runner-up for the Co-op Game of the Year awards at the 82 Arcade Awards, losing out to Tron.
I'm going to take a guess.
Okay, so we got Andy's going to lock in at 1, 2, 3. That was 4. I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of the clues for the guys here. Was that 4? 1, 2. No, that was 3. Oh, 3 points for Andy if he gets it right. Published by Midway.
In 82, good lord.
Let's go on to number 5. Has a tabletop miniature cabinet released by Coleco in 1983.
Co-op game.
Nope. Nope, not co-op.
Oh, I thought you said best co-op game it lost. To Tron.
Best coin-op. Coin-op. I might have said co-op because I can't read. All right, number 6. The only game in a long-running series not to be made by Namco. So Namco made the rest of the series except for this one. And number 7, originally made as a modification kit to Pac-Man called Crazy Otto. Oh, I think I've stumped the rest of them. Andy, you locked in at like 3 points. What was your guess?
I might be wrong. I thought it was Dig Dug.
It is not Dig Dug. We were looking for Miss Pac-Man.
I was going to say
that, but then I saw Pac-Man.
I should have known that in the last clue. But then I talked myself out of it in my head. I was like, wait, I'm out of... Yeah, it is a modification. Obviously. Wasn't it like a college... How they took?
I want to say MIT students, if I remember correctly. All right, let's do game number 3.
Man, I even almost said Miss Pac-Man when I thought you said co-op because I'm like, did Miss Pac-Man have co-op? You could do like swap between 2 people.
I actually didn't know it was that old. I thought Miss Pac-Man was. I would have thought later since.
They got on that Pac-Man bandwagon pretty quickly. All right, your 3rd game was released in 1992. That's fact 1.
Okay.
No one wants that one?
No.
All right. Number 2, introduce the concept of juggling.
Oh.
Juggling.
I'm going to lock in a guess.
All right. We got Kenny at 2 points.
Yeah. Shot in the dark. I think I might have this, but I don't know.
Sam looks like he might want to give a guess.
I'm going to wait.
He's going to hold on. All right. This game was published by Midway. Let's go on to number 4. Controls feature a joystick and 5 buttons.
Okay, I'm going to lock in an answer.
Sam locking in at 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points if Sam gets it right. All right. Number 4, 7 playable characters in this game.
I'm going to lock it in.
All right.
I got this.
The home console release of this game was one of the largest of all time.
Oh, come on. Then we know what this is.
Yeah, I got it.
Come on now.
Sam, you want another one?
Sam wasn't born yet.
I already locked in.
Oh, everyone's locked.
Yeah, everyone's locked in.
All right. Who said?
I was first.
Kenny, you were first. What did you put?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat is correct.
Yeah.
That is totally correct.
Juggling.
Right.
That's all I had to hear.
So give me
92.
some. Kenny, where did you lock in at?
2?
2.
Yeah.
Yes. Sam?
I said Street Fighter.
Oh, no point, Sam. Andy, where'd you lock in at?
The 5-button one? I don't know.
Okay, I got you.
But I knew it was Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Let's do one more. I've got one more, and it's a game that I am very fond of. So let's do this one. This arcade game shares a name with a Canadian electronic music group.
Oh.
My Canadian music group knowledge is a little lacking.
Electronic.
Oh.
I thought of one immediately, but I don't think that's a
Let's
game.
move on for 2 points. Main character was originally named Braveheart.
Oh.
This is an arcade game, right?
Arcade game, yep.
Okay.
For 3 points, this game was programmed by Franz X. Lanzinger. FXL. All right. For 4 points, controls include a trackball and a jump button.
I'll lock in.
Locked in at 4.
I'm locking in. I could be way off on this one, but
when I edit this, I'll have a sound effect for lock in. The Law and Order sound effect.
All right. For 5 points, some levels can be skipped by jumping at special locations. Otherwise, you complete levels by collecting all the gems. You still feeling good, Andy?
I don't know.
All right. For 6 points, collect a hat on a level to make Bentley briefly invulnerable.
Bentley.
Mercedes.
All right. And from our synonyms category, you could also call this game Rhombic Rooks. Rhombic Rooks. Sam's picking up his pen. He has a thought.
I don't even know what the word rhombic is.
Did you say the year of the game, by the way?
I did not for this one.
Okay.
Andy, what was your guess?
Crystal Castle?
It is Crystal Castle!
Oh, man.
Nice. I was like, that's a weird. Crystal Castle was a strange game with funny character. Yeah. So the hat thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guys, Andy stole that game.
Damn, Andy, you stole both games. You are the Leetist of the Leet.
I mean, the one with retro in their name. I would hope they would.
Yeah, we do a lot of modern stuff on the show, but when we have retro guests, we bring Dwayne on here, our retro enthusiast, and have some retro kind of fun.
I do love me some old video games.
There you go. Andy, thanks so much for coming, man. I know we had limited time, but I thought we packed in a lot and had a great time. So thanks.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Andy,
I wish I had more time, but I still had a great time.
I'm glad you're here, and you have a new Twitter follower in me.
Oh my God. So look.
One last time, man. Shout out your stuff, and we'll send you on your way.
Yeah, you could find me. My social security number is, and my address is, and my full name is. Really, I think the best place to find me is look up Love Retro BTW on Twitter, and then check out the link tree. It's got all my crazy stuff. That said, I love the Sega Saturn. And I also like to say, we only get one shot at this, so people should just be nice to each other,
Hell yeah, I love it.
And really love being here. I'd love to have you guys on my podcast, so we should work that out eventually off the show. That said, that's it for me, I guess. That's me in a nutshell.
Oh yeah, man. We will do more stuff in the future for sure. I'd love to have like you and RGB on, and we'll all do trivia together and throw stuff at each other. It'll be fun as hell.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Though I charge a rate if I'm on a same show with Ryan. So okay,
understandable.
You have to pay me to be on a show with him.
We'll get our people to talk to your people.
There we go. All right,
Andy. You guys are paying me for this, right?
I'm just in exposure. We're paying you in exposure.
We have the coin we use to flip to see who goes first. I think Ryan might be upset if we get rid of that. But
you guys are awesome, and I got to say the arcade guessing game was really fun. So
well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thanks, man. Andy, Cafe BTW. What was the Saturn podcast?
Oh, Saturn Force Pod.
Saturn Force.
I picked a name that I was going to call it the Saturn Parallax Podcast, but then I was like, that's a little tongue twisty. So I went with something more like on the nose, because a lot of Saturn games have those kind of names like Burning Ranger and stuff like that, So Saturn Force Podcast, check it out. It's on iTunes and all that crazy stuff like Spotify and
your favorite podcast platform. Awesome, man. Thanks so much, Andy.
Thanks, guys.
Catch you next time. All right. Got to take a second here because it's time to give a huge shout out to our incredible patrons. Darth Stridius, aptly dubbed, Cyrotus, Ross Varner, Zach, huge thanks to you, Retro Game Brews, Spoof Shot, the Coordinator, Kyle Halvey, Lemons, Andrew Morris, Brandon Walls, Andy, Hobbytime 168, Isaac at Econo Mechanic, and the man, the myth, Emo-esque. We massively appreciate your support of our show. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. You are truly Leet.
Thank you.
Patrons of the Leetist can get access to all kind of goodies from us, including show shout-outs, bonus episodes, experimental content, games transcripts, and whatever else we can think of. Your funds help us with upkeep, equipment upgrades, prizes, and merch, legal fees for that thing that Ryan did, and more. For additional info about becoming a patron of the show, check out patreon.com/theleetist.
I think you meant things that Ryan did.
For just $1, you can get the show earlier than everyone else. For just $3, you can get 30 extra minutes of the Leetist every week as we do bonus content. So thank you so much, patrons out there. Check out patreon.com/theleetist.
It's a bargain. You're losing money if you don't do it.
No doubt.
Reach into the bargain bin. Okay, thanks so much to Andy Love Retro BTW. Find him on all the pod. That was so much fun. I had a blast with him. All those stuff. He killed it too.
Good times. Yep.
Go check out Love Retro BTW, Cafe BTW, and the Saturn Force podcast. There you go. But now is the time in the show where we go around the table and talk about one thing from the week that we are psyched about, be it a game, a movie, a book, a hobby, a thought, a dream, an adventure. It can be whatever you want in your flavor of the week. Flavor of the week. I'll kick this one off, guys, because I played a Game Pass game.
You played a game?
Heard of Immortality.
Oh, I downloaded that the other day.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
So these developers did Her Story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which did either of you guys play that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed Her Story. It was pretty cool. I'm not sure if I finished it or if I just got bored and looked up what happens. Can't remember. But this one I like way more than Her Story. It's so like, it's hard to talk about without giving away a lot of, but you're going through footage of like this actress in the 70s, like 3 of these movies she shot and some of the behind the scenes stuff and her on like talk shows and figuring out this mystery that's going on, which I'm only like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours in. I've heard people have played this for like 15 hours and to unravel all the mysteries that are happening. So I don't know if it's going to hold my attention that long or not, but from what I've seen so far, I'm just getting to the point where weird shit is starting to happen and stuff that like is really creative with, it's just a game where you're scrolling through footage, but it's not afraid. Like Her Story was a little less like, this game is not afraid to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really neat. Okay. And they take some leaps and some.
Yeah, I've heard some of the things that it like messes with you, because like this is not a game that I personally would want to play, but it does sound really neat to watch someone else play it.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. I can't think of the studio that develops this.
I can't either, but I'll look it up.
But that's the great thing about their games is I know when their second game came out, the follow-up to Her Story, like I had friends who were like, we're going to get together and play this as a group because it's just so enjoyable to watch the story unfold. Even if you're not...
a great way to play it, because then you can like talk to each other like, oh yeah, you should go, oh, what if we did that? And yeah.
It's just a guy, Sam Barlow. He made Her Story and Immortality, I think. So there you go. That's I don't want to give away much more than that. That's it. Go play it. It's on Game Pass.
That it says recommended to play with a controller, but from everyone that's been playing it, it is almost required to play with a controller.
Really?
Because there's a prompt to do like a certain like a little certain thing to find like a certain different thing. That there's an auditory one.
Yes.
But in a lot of scenes, it's hard to hear that auditory thing, but the controller vibrates.
Oh, I heard. It took me 2 hours, maybe a little less, to realize that was happening. Those auditory clues, but once I did, it was easy to find after that. But I've been using a mouse, so I don't know. There you go. Play it with a controller, then I'll try that. Dwayne.
All right. So this week saw the release of Kevin Smith's Clerks 3.
Oh, I just saw it last night.
Oh my gosh. We have so much because I need to spoil the shit out of this, but I won't on the podcast. This brings to the end a journey that I started with Kevin Smith as a video store clerk myself in 1994 when we got a trailer, a screener copy of Clerks in. And it also brought on a Kevin Smith renaissance for me this week. My wife sat down and watched Clerks 2, and we went to theater to see Clerks 3. I checked out Mallrats. I did some bonus footage that I hadn't checked out before, and I was just so pleasantly in love with what he did in Clerks 3.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you real quick before you get into it my experience with it, because Kevin Smith's comedy after... I don't know, Reboot and later, Yoga Hosers and later maybe.
Yeah.
A lot of it doesn't hit for me, but then once in a while there'll be something that hits. But it was like the beginning of Clerks 3, I was like kind of like, oh no, I might not be liking this because of the comedy, and a lot of it wasn't hitting. But then by the end of the movie, I was literally almost crying.
Yes, yeah, it is something else, and it's something that I have thought about every day since I've seen it. Yeah. Like I'm so glad that he did this. Going to see Clerks 2 in the theater was like impossible for me to even wrap my head around. Like this is a major motion picture release from a movie that, was pretty small at the time. But yeah, I'm glad that Kevin Smith decided to follow up with that. Watching Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, I said that, Kevin Smith, this feels like Kevin Smith's love letter to fans. Like it is so fan servicey. I feel like Clerks 3 is a love letter to himself. Like he needed this to kind of tell Dante and Randall's story.
And I mean, man, this movie is made for like hardcore Kevin Smith nerds, because like there's my Clerks X collection DVD came with a long ass documentary about the making of Clerks, and there's so many like references in Clerks 3 that you would not know unless you like know a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and you know what I mean. And they just go all out for like just the hardcore fans, and it's awesome. Yeah,
and he's currently doing a podcast series that I dove into this week called Clerks 2 TOO, where he talks to a lot of people who were a lot of the bit players in the cast, and talks about how Clerks was influential on their life. So that's been a good listen.
That documentary from that box set is called The Snowball Effect, and it's like 2 hours long, and it's incredible. It's a story about him growing up in Jersey and getting the money together to make Clerks, and all his friends just shooting a movie on a convenience store, and then it ends with him, selling it to Harvey Weinstein. But it's still an amazing story. So find it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So thanks, Kevin. Thanks for Clerks 3. It's appreciated.
Thank you very much. I have to check that out. I've watched Clerks and Clerks 2. Haven't watched Clerks 3 yet, but I'm going to have to check that out now.
I think it might only be in theaters for a limited time.
It is not showing anywhere here until it comes to the Bell Court hosted by Kevin Smith next month, which I might end up going to again.
Wait, where did you see it?
I saw it at AMC, Cool Springs.
Oh, yeah, I saw it at Opry last night.
Okay.
So.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe Opry. Maybe. I think
it's only 10 days or a week or something.
It's it's a very limited release.
I'll have to get on that.
Get on that.
Okay. My flavor of the week is a game that I've only played for 30 minutes because I had other things that I had to do in between. But it is Metal Hellsinger.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Ooh.
I snuck that in as well. I've done everything this week, it seems like.
Yeah.
I'm looking into it right now because I've not heard of it.
It is.
Oh, you haven't?
Do you know the Doom 2016 game?
I'm familiar.
Yes.
Do you know what heavy metal is?
It is just.
You mean the animated film or the music genre?
The music genre.
Okay. Yes, I have heard of it.
It's as described. I don't remember by who, but it was wow. This metal album comes with a game.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is incredible heavy metal music, and as you kill the enemies, there's a bar that goes by the beat, and if you shoot on the beat, you do more damage.
Okay.
You get higher points, and there are different abilities that you can only do on the beat. And it just, you start tapping your foot to beat, just dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
you just start tapping your foot and just bam, bam, reload, boom, bam.
I love the dueling pistols. You know
I haven't gotten there yet, but I use those in the demo.
Yeah.
And when I use those, I'm like, oh, this is the game.
Yeah.
This is how it is. It's just, it feels so good. Once you get in that rhythm, you're just like, bam, perfect, boom, boom, boom. All with this incredible, just heavy metal track, and you get a multiplier as it goes up. You get more points. Once you hit 16, then the lyrics come in.
Oh my!
And it's just
awesome.
So it's like someone got a rhythm game in my FPS.
That's exactly what it is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll check this out. Nice.
So good.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of it because Tim's been raving about it for months since they showed it at an event, and the demo's been out for a few months too.
Yeah, Tim's he's the one who put me onto the demo, and I'm like, hey, I'll give it a try. Oh, I like this. Game comes out. Oh yeah, I like this. I love this.
Yeah, super good.
No, I'm still down Tim's last rabbit hole of Arcade Paradise at the moment.
Oh yeah, every time I see you on Discord, you're on that game.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I played it a bit. Probably not nearly as much as you have, but I've got 6 cabinets pretty early on in the game. I'll probably play more of it though. There's a lot going on.
I have too many games to play to get sucked into that.
Yeah.
I'm down the Destiny rabbit hole right now, so it's like every other game is sneaking its way in between my Destiny sessions. So that was a good flavor of the week. All things that I've done and experienced, so that's fun. Clerks 3, Metal Hellsinger, did all that stuff. Let's see. As we reach the end of the show, gentlemen, I would like to thank you so much for being here and thank Andy, Love Retro BTW. If you like the show and you like us, come join us in the Discord. Check the link in the show notes and get your ass into the Discord. We're having a lot of fun there. We do trivia on the weekends. I think Ryan did one today, which I missed because I was getting ready for this and frantically getting everything together to do this show. But the Discord's open, leetist.com, jumping off point for everything we do here at the Leetist. Games about games. Come up with a game. Send it to us. We'll play it on the show. Come here with all the other patrons who get bonus content every weekend as well.
Get in there.
Every week, I mean to
what
say.
What are you
30
doing
extra minutes.
not in there?
And if you came here from the Gamers Week podcast, here's trivia from our spot on their most recent episode, guys. See if you know this one. This is a fun one. Most of the Koopalings from the Super Mario games are named after famous musicians, Ludwig, Iggy, Wendy O, and the list goes on. It's not just the Koopalings, though. For example, there's a recurring mini-boss in Super Mario World named for a now Emmy-winning musician. Guess which one? You know this?
I don't know this.
I don't.
Did you know about the Koopalings, how they're all named after? Like Lemmy from Motorhead and Iggy Pop and all that?
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's the one named after Morton Downey Jr., which never made a lot of sense. Like, what a flash in the pan to name your character after.
Was he a musician at all?
No,
he was just a host.
A talk. He was kind of the shock talk show host that gave way to Jerry Springer. And
now that you mention it. Anyway, okay. The answer is Reznor. Trent Reznor.
Oh,
There's a mini
cool.
boss in Super Mario World that you fight. It's like a Triceratops that breathes fire. Sometimes you fight 4 of them at once, but they're called Reznors.
Okay,
and it's after Trent Reznor, which I didn't even know until I heard this too. So thank you everyone for listening from Gamers Week. There's the answer of the week. We've reached the end of the show.
Oh.
Tim and Ryan, hope you had fun listening to this one.
Yeah.
I know you guys like when you're not here and you get to not do any work and just sit back and listen to the show. So.
And get to actually like play along with all the games and not know any of the answers.
For sure.
Is anyone else nervous about Tim's performance review from this episode? I know I am a little bit. I did not score very well last time.
all of his performance reviews immediately going to the trash.
I think I flubbed.
Outlook rules.
I think I only flubbed a little bit of one of his pre-written lines, so I think I did okay. Who knows? Okay, we got next week on the Leetist. Yeah. I think Ryan will be back, but Tim will not. We're gonna have more fun stuff to do, though. More games. That's what we do here. Games about games. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys filling in when we need you. You're right here. We calling you. You're here.
Always
Sam and
happy.
Dwayne.
Glad to be
Dwayne
here.
and Sam.
Yeah.
Catch you next time.
Bye-bye.